So, Lorwyn is available to order at distribution. I think it's been available for about a week or two, and I just forgot about it maybe. But right now, it's just the regular product lines and not necessarily the Ultra Pro stuff. We've been talking about the Spider-Man cancellation of Ultra Pro and whether that really was a thing. And I haven't seen any Ultra Pro products for Lorwyn, but obviously those will come later. It's weird because the Ultra Pro products for Final Fantasy came really early because I was able to order the 6-foot playmats in September of 2024, right? And that was our first, I guess, inkling about Final Fantasy. I think, that might have been a leak. I don't know. Anyway, the Lorwyn products, the SKUs that are available, are interesting. So like how Foundations had the beginner box and the beginner collection, and those were interesting products, and it kind of told you how Wizards of the Coast viewed Foundations, and they were very successful products, and they were actually the MSRP on those things was quite low, and the amount that Sora had to pay was quite low, so they clearly wanted to get new people into it. So now it looks like, to me, Lorwyn is either focused on standard, maybe Pioneer, possibly modern, but probably standard, because there's a Draft Night product. I think they had something called Draft Night back in the pandemic, but it wasn't tied to any particular set, and it was kind of like a board game, was it a 4 to 6 player board game or a 2 to 6 player board game, to basically teach people how to draft, how to play Magic, that kind of thing. So that's pretty good. It's an interesting little product. I don't expect it to sell well because that product didn't quite sell well. It stayed on shelves at Walmart and most stores for quite a while. So and I actually like the idea that those types of products do that, as in, they don't make them put too powerful cards in them that then draw in the collectors and investors and even the players because they want those cards. Because if you're already a player, the product's not really meant for you, but then you end up sucking up all the product, and then people that are trying to find the new product that teaches them how to play the game or teaches them some new aspect to the game, they can't get it, right? So I prefer it when those things don't sell out instantly because they don't have that much powerful stuff. So I like it when Wizards of the Coast does that. Now, the other more interesting part, so we haven't had commander decks in sets now. Basically, Edge of Eternities was the last set that had commander decks, and obviously it's only been out for like a few weeks to a month. But Spider-Man comes out, no commander decks. Avatar comes out, no commander decks. So basically no commander decks for the rest of the year. But of course the Final Fantasy commander decks have restocked, and I'm sure the Tarkir, I think the Tarkir ones have restocked, and were there Foundation? No, there weren't Foundations ones, but the Dustmore ones and the Bloomburrow ones will restock. There'll be lots of available commander decks, just these next two sets won't have them, but Lorwyn will. And that's not the surprising part. There's another product that's cheaper than the commander decks, the Precon decks. Don't know what those are. I haven't had a store when Precon decks were available. Now, they could be something similar to the Planeswalker decks or the Brawl decks. Maybe Wizards of the Coast is bringing those back, or maybe combining them, or maybe they're making Pioneer decks or standard decks or modern decks that they're selling, right? I don't know exactly what those are, but I think those things, because they're not beginner products, or probably not meant to be beginner products, but at least to introduce you to a format other than Commander, whether it's standard or possibly Pioneer or possibly modern. I doubt they're modern decks. Those would be quite expensive, right? And even Pioneer without fetch lands and stuff like that, still, fetch lands aren't really that expensive. Pioneer is more expensive than Standard, and Standard is quite expensive compared to Commander, right? So they're probably standard decks, and I don't think that they're beginner decks because that's a different SKU. That's usually it's 2 beginner decks that is meant to teach you how to play the game. And I also like it when those things aren't stacked with like really powerful cards so that they can stay in stock and new people can learn to play the game. And especially when they tie it to sets like Final Fantasy, Bloomburrow, Assassin's Creed had them. Those are cool beginner products, and it's good to keep those on the shelves. Anyway, but these could be more similar to maybe the revised starter decks. That would be interesting. Like they're randomized. Well, no, because they're called precons, so they can't be randomized. So uh, it would be cool if they brought those starter randomized starter decks back. But I don't think that's what's happening. So they're probably, I'm guessing, some sort of standardized or brawl deck or planeswalker deck, right? Or maybe some new type of precon deck. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.